Welcome to the latest episode of Branding the Experience. We discuss ways how we can create environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. Hi, I'm Ken Bader, your host for Branding the Experience. Subject today is work is not your family. Now, I borrowed this from an awesome podcast episode, which I highly recommend that you listen to. It came from TED Business by the same name, Work is Not Your Family, done by Gloria Chan Packer. And it was an excellent, and let me repeat, excellent podcast episode. I've been listening to a few of the TED Business episodes lately, and that by far was the number one that resonated with me. One, because I think Gloria is spot on for many of the reasons that she mentioned in her talk, and I won't step on her toes. I highly encourage you to go to Spotify or Apple or wherever it is that you get your podcasts and check that particular episode out. But as I've often talked in the brand culture strategy alignment, is I believe that as businesses, organizations go up the stages of growth, they hit these walls, these growing pains, these ceilings that they have to break through. And one of those is, it seems many times, and I've seen this on several occasions, a business that has just started has kind of a family feel to it. Hey, we've gotten into this and we're in this together. But eventually, as the business grows, it screams out for what it needs. And what it often needs is more structure, more process, more systems. And that takes it away from having this family feel to being more of a team. In fact, Gloria even mentioned, I think one of her colleagues said, we're not like a family here at this business. We're more like a sports team. And I believe she alluded to the fact that that was a healthier way of looking at it. She spoke about that from more of the perspective of the individual, understanding that work is not your life and that you needed to really concentrate on other areas of your being and not making work be the end all be all. But I want to take it from a branding standpoint, especially from our tagline of creating environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. Because I find that as businesses hit a certain stage of growth, that it becomes less of a family and needs to be more of a team. And there's a lot of friction on that, where this family atmosphere all of a sudden needs to change, and people are saying, well, why do we need those standards? I used to be able to just do this, or say, hey, I'm not coming in this afternoon, or just do something that was off of the process and get approval for it. Now, we've got to go through all this rigmarole. But, the fact is that the brand and the experience that's provided by that business needs some of that structure. And I had that incident happen to me in 2022, probably about 6 months or so ago, where I was working with a small family business. I would say that there was probably about maybe 8 employees, and I won't name the name of the business. It's local to me, or exactly what happened, because again, what I generally like to do is not mention a name of a business, with a few exceptions, unless I am really trying to make a point and I'm a raving fan of them. Because the point is not to disparage a business, it's to look at an incident and see what we can learn from this. Now, this small family business that has been around, I believe, for decades, has that kind of family feel to it among their employees and even among their customers. I've used them for a couple of years now for a few different things, and it's they've tried to bring me into this little family collective, which is fine until something goes wrong in the process. And that's exactly what happened in a transaction that I had with them. And, I took them to task. I said, well, this is what you provide. And now I don't have what I need because your process broke down. And the response to that was more of a family type of response, like, well, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what's wrong. It's like, well, it's your job to fix it. This is the service that you're providing. This is what I'm paying for, and I didn't get that. That's what a business does. It's not this, hey, I know I'm going to have to deal with cousin John who's annoying at Thanksgiving, but hey, it's family. I'll deal with it. I'll bite my tongue and then I'll get to leave. That isn't this experience here. If you want to create an environment where customers want to keep coming back, as well as having employees being happy, you need to get some of that team dynamic. So going back to this particular example, it was a complete blow up, and I had to talk to the owners, and the owners even had this same kind of mentality that I was the problem, that because, I was irate, and maybe I lost my temper a little bit too much, but I didn't receive the experience that I paid for. And because they had kind of an insular family instead of a team, they made me feel like the outsider. Even a couple of the team members there, some of the employees even kind of chastised me for being so upset or kind of looked down upon me. And again, maybe I was more upset than I needed to be. But the fact is, what I had paid for, I did not get. I got a less than meets expectations experience than what I had paid for. And that's a problem as a business. So this business really needs to understand that we can't be family anymore. We've grown to a certain point where we need to have more structure. We need to have more process. So we have customers that want to keep coming back. And I certainly don't want to go back there. I still do a little bit of business with them, but frankly, there's been business that I should have taken there that I've taken to much larger entities because I want it to get done right. And I don't trust them. I don't trust their process. They may be very, very nice people, and they may have a nice little family there where employees actually want to come to work, and that's great. But if you don't have that other piece, if you don't have that piece where customers want to keep coming back, and all you do is you have this great culture with a poor brand and no strategy, then you have this dying business of people that are so happy to be there, but don't know if they're going to have a job tomorrow. And that's not a good situation either. So the takeaway from this, other than obviously to listen to that particular episode of TED Business on work isn't family, is understand that whether it's in the initial stages or eventually when we hit one of those ceilings in the stage of growth, that the business needs to have structure and process. And that's more speaking of like a sports team and a lot less of being a family, because you could choose what team you want to be on. You could choose what team to cheer for. You could choose to bring on people that can get you to where you want to go that you may or may not like. But it's about productivity. It's about providing an experience that provides also profits for the business, and not just simply being a family for family's sake. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And as always, here's hoping you're branding the experience at a very high level for all those you serve. Do you need a speaker for your next conference? Maybe a facilitator for your next strategic planning or training session? A full program with expert panelists and interactive exercises for attendees? Or maybe you need an MC for your next event. I'm here to help and have the expertise to be a part of an amazing agenda for your audience. Learn more about Bader Training and Consulting at www.btcinc.net, or better yet, just contact me directly at kbader@btcinc.net.
inc.net. And let's talk about your next event, next training session, or next summit.